there's not really esports, a kind of electric racing. It has to do with boats, and Lagos will be hosting that electric boat race. The very first time it will be happening in September. Lagos will be hosting that. Of course, the governor said Lagos is already ready even before the September, because most of the logistics are being put in place ahead of that. We also touched down on the games that were played at the weekend, talking about the Nigeria Premier Football League. Yes, some of the big games that happened at the weekend. Of course, the games that happened yesterday, where you're having some teams that you don't even expect to actually win away from home getting a victory. So it's getting tougher and tougher, talking about the Nigeria Premier Football League. And of course, we have an exclusive with Ngozi Okobi, talking about returning to the national team. And I know she gave birth in September. She signed for a new club, Ottawa Rapids. By February she will be resuming, starting to play with her club. We have an exclusive with her, talking about some things that have to do with the national team. And of course, yes, we'll wrap that up with, I talked about EFL Cup. There's so much to talk about on the show tonight. There's so much about it. Austin will join me much later out on the show. But right here, Kende Idris is in the studio already. Kende, it's good to have you, Jamie.
It's good to be here, Cecilia. And you mentioned Okobi. From the moment Okobi was, would I say ousted or stopped getting called up to the, Super Falcons, I had a problem with that. I feel she's one of those who gives a all. So I want to, really follow this exclusive. Then also the Under-19 FIBA World Cup. There is a reason why basketball and also athletics jostle for the second spot in Nigeria, because they both have attention, almost at the same level. And so a lot of persons are looking at this because at this level, we've not really conquered, even Africa, talk more of the world. So maybe this is the start. The D Tigers and D Tigress have given us so much joy. We want to see more joy from the lower cadre, and then they grow into, the D Tigress, D Tiger.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's all we will be looking at. We'll have to take a look at the draw that was done today. We'll take a look at that draw first before we delve into other things that we'll be talking about. You have Portugal in that group. If you can have that run, we'll just go through the group and the chances of these players making it out, because we saw what they did, at African level.
Yeah.
Even despite the fact that they didn't have much of the preparations and everything, they still, went ahead to qualify. And these are some of the, we talk usually at that time when they qualify, we were like, I hope, at the time we are ready, we won't be having issues of no money to travel. But here, take a look at the draw, that was done earlier today. It will be in Czech Republic. 2025, of course, is this year. And Group A, you have USA, Israel, Hungary, and South Korea. And Group B, that's where you have Nigeria, Portugal, Canada, and China. Now, this is a very tough one. Yeah. Yes, you will say Portugal, when it comes to basketball, they are not big in basketball. But you come to China, yes, they are good. And you come to Canada, they are very good. So this alone tells you that, yes, Nigeria will have to really be ready to be able to get this, running, because you can't waste time. Preparations is key. You have to get the boys ready. From what happened in South Africa, we don't want that to repeat itself when they start preparing for the World Cup. All right, you have Australia in Group C, France also there, Brazil and Mali complete that Group C. In Group D, that's where you have Spain, the host nation Czech Republic, Japan, and Argentina. Of course, tournament will take place from July 12th to 20th. That's where it will be taking place. We still have some time to prepare these boys for this tournament. Nigeria never die hard spirit. They always, banking on sometimes. Not every time it works. But Austin is ready to join us now on the show. Austin, I mean, this draw where you have Canada, you have China, you have Portugal with Nigeria, not looking easy at all.
What a greetings to you, Cecilia, of course, Kende Idris, and our numerous diverse audience watching us from different parts of the world. Always an action-packed all the sports. Now we've seen the draw. It's up to the Nigeria Basketball Federation to say, what do we want to achieve from this women's, championship? At the African level, Cecilia, we saw talent and we praised them. and we said, good job. You know, countries use the age grade to see how far they've come. They look back and say, okay, at under, let's say, 13, we did ABCD. When we got to 15, we did EFGH. When we got to 17, we did IJKLM. Now that this is under 19, at under 19, you know that's proper adult basketball. So you want to go out there and impress. At this level, with my knowledge of basketball, I still can't come out and say, oh, this is going to happen for this is going to happen for that. We can only talk about those countries that we know they've been doing so well with basketball because they build from bottom to top. For instance, you can't just say Canada just plays basketball at the top. Definitely, they have a structure, they have systems. But is it the same for us in Nigeria? Because you check it out, most times we only bank on talent. So when I looked at Group B, that's got Nigeria, Portugal, Canada, and China, I said, God, why again? You know, but look, when you go to the World Championship, to be the best, you must play the best and beat the best. But at this stage, I'll say let's compete, give these girls the exposure that they can get at this level, and then we'll see what we can do with the lessons that I'll pick from it, Cecilia.
That's what we need to look at, right? What do you think?
Cecilia, the competition starts July 12th.
Yeah.
On that day, Nigeria is also playing. We'll be playing China. And this is why this angle is very murky. You said it while you were, breaking down Group B. Portugal might not be at the same level when you're talking basketball with China and also Canada. So that if there are two teams that we need to really battle against, it should be Canada and China. Huge respect to Portugal also. So if we're playing China in the very first game, we always say it, in competitions of 4 in a group, your very first game goes ahead to matter, so that you don't struggle in the last 2 games. Sometimes the first game might be a bad one, and then it awakens you. You now, roll over the other 2 games and then qualify. But sometimes the moment you lose that first game, it's a proper struggle. Against China, it's going to be tough. But if the Nigerian under 19 team can get past China, then the way is open. Now you would say, give or take, Canada takes points off us. Then you go and play Portugal and then finish off that. Do you get the analysis? So playing China and winning China will do you 2 things. Number 1, you'll secure points. Then number 2, it boosts your morale going into the other game. And I think, like Austin said, the management, from the administrators to the coaching crew, anybody who is in charge, start asking a lot of questions. What do you want to achieve? Do you want to compete favorably? Do you want to see the level at which you can push ourselves? And if you're looking at that, the very first game should be a pointer to a whole lot. Playing China and getting points off China, I think that will be massive for this athletes. And like I do said, if you go and check today, as of 9:10 p.m. this night, these basketballers are still doing 1 or 2 things to enhance them being better when the World Cup starts. That means they are not resting on their horse on what to contribute, their home quota. What are you contributing to helping them when that time comes? That is another question.
I think I totally agree with you there. All we need to do is just prepare them for the tournament, and hopefully, they come out good, because whatever progress you're making, at international level, it trickle down. No matter how you look at it, trickle down to what's happening at home. Yes, we know at home, the league, it's like you have like 1 month league and 3 weeks league and everything. That's what is happening. But then when we're succeeding internationally, we smile a little bit and say, okay, it's not all so bad. So we can see what it can actually, bring to the table in this tournament. So let's leave that and talk about this one. E-boats race fiesta. I mean, this is first time. When I was watching the news, this came out on Monday about Didier Drogba visiting Governor Sanwo-Olu. About upcoming events. So Lagos hosting that e-boat race festival. So I'm like, what's this all about? But then when we saw the water sports organizers, the sponsors, and all they had to say concerning this, that's when we understood that yes, this is something really big. Now, what is it all about? So Lagos will be will be the host city for that E1 World Championship coming up in September. So the organizers have said that it's an all-electric race boat contest. I mean, this it's something. They're touring around different cities, but then they came to Lagos because of the waterways and the infrastructure that Lagos have. You know what? Let's listen to the organizer. The team are led by Melin Ngoye, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Fund for Export Development in Africa, FEDA, and also Didier Drogba, a former Chelsea player, former African Player of the Year. And of course, when you mention Didier Drogba, you know how, the portfolio is huge, it's big. But he is a part of this. Let's listen to them, then you understand what we are trying to say here.
This is one of the most exciting global championship on earth. It's about boat races. You will have the opportunity to hopefully see those boats. They're very modern, very good looking. Most importantly, they're sustainable. So this is really transforming sports and fast sports in a way that is sustainable. So all of the boats are sustainable, and Didier is one of the 9 celebrity owners. We were very proud at Afreximbank and at FEDA to have a proud son of Africa being one of the owners, because oftentimes, Mr. Governor, we are excluded from these elite sports. So we look at the statistics, and when you look at whether it is Formula One or the big sailing races, you never see Africa in the picture. We capture only 2% of what is actually a pretty large industry.
We started an adventure with Iwan and Alejandro Agag and all his team. They came to us. No, we met them in Riyadh, and they spoke about this new sport. And we said we cannot be left out. We want to be in. How does it work? So they explained to us, and the sustainability. Because I know the continent is really looking forward to those changes that we need to implement. And I think in my position as a public person, I think I can help have a stronger impact on the continent. So wherever it is for sustainability or even for sports and for inspiration, we're here to inspire the youth, to inspire our elders, to say yes, it's possible. What you see abroad in Europe or in America, you can have it here. And with all the best talents, the best, athletes in the world, Tom Brady, LeBron James, imagine having Rafa Nadal here, the DJ Steve Aoki. Thanks to them for putting in place this competition, but we need to benefit from that as well. And I believe Lagos and its population is ready to have us. We come here to have your support, because we need to start, but we need to start well. We need to send a message to the world to say that yes, the competition is here in Lagos, and yes, we did it, and we can duplicate everywhere.
It's definitely an adventurous sport, water sport. E-boat racing. The World Championship is going to be in Lagos. Austin, something interesting, when we see things like this with the festival, like how are they going to start? But you heard Didier Drogba mentioning the likes of Tom Brady having their own team, LeBron James, Rafael Nadal, these guys having their own team. And Didier Drogba, of course, had to partner with these guys to also bring one to Africa. And of course, where is the best place to be when you're bringing a sport like that in Africa? Water sports, you have to come to Lagos.
Sounds good, a testament again to the fact that there's just so much we can do as a country, that we've got the resources, that people from the outside are seeing these potentials and opportunities and identifying it for us, Easy peasy. When Drogba was speaking, I could understand why they want to come to Lagos, because they are sure that they will get the eyeballs that they need. They are sure that they will get value for their money. They will even get sponsorship. They will get an order. that sponsoring it, they are looking at it and saying, okay, they've got the waterways, they've got everything in place. Let's see how we can tap into, Lagos being the host city. I like the fact that Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is, interested in this. I remember when he sent a delegation to the Olympics in Paris, I was there, and they said he wants to invest in esports. So when I saw the E in it, I was like, okay, maybe that mandate, they're still keeping to it, but this is good. This is water sports. This is big opportunity. This is Didier Drogba, that is the legend of football, being the face of this competition. And of course, calling out the stars that he mentioned that are part of it, tells you that they've actually done their homework and they know that this will be, a valuable, championship. So shout out to Lagos State for, even giving these guys an audience. And when they leave Lagos State, don't sit back and say, okay, let's wait for them to come. As a state, start thinking about ways that you can improve on it even before they come back. Identify strategic partnerships from it and opportunities that can help, your large population. Let's listen to the governor of Lagos State, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. This is an initiative that I think Lagos will do just fine with it.
We believe that it's not just our success, it's an African success. And so we're truly, truly excited with the thought, with the initiative, and what E1 and all of you are trying to build. Just last week, Formula One people also came around, and they're just doing exploratory studies, and they're just going around on their own. We met with them on their own just to study the city, check the traffic movement, and check the level of infrastructure and the rest of it. So all of those things, we also need to be prepared. We need to be transaction ready. We need to be people ready. We need to be infrastructure ready to be able to take in, all of the opportunities that is coming. And so for us, we see this as another unique opportunity to tell the Lagos story, but in a sustainable manner, and that's why we're also really, really, truly excited. On the waterways, we've been working with the French Development Bank, for example. We're changing all of ferries. We're changing a whole lot of them to EVs, to electric, boats. All of that conversations have been very advanced. Funding has been raised, and we'll begin to see, even as we move on, we call the project Omieko Project. One thought of Lagos is actually water. And by the time you go around the city, you'll see that, we have enough natural body of water, that will be able to take the entire plan of E1. So it's a city where it's tight. It's actually the smallest in terms of land area in the country. And so we're sort of like tied up together, but we enjoy it. We enjoy the hospitality, we enjoy the warmness that we give each other. And we're growing and we're building the city, in a very organized manner, sustainable manner, but very aggressive.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, I love the key words that you used. We need to get ready, talked about sustainable development that is also unique and that Lagos is getting ready to tap into it, make use of the state's hospitality and getting ready. Since this is water sports, we need to be sure that it is safe, it is secured, it is clean, and that we'll have the infrastructure in place. You mentioned all of that. And that's why I said, look, for this sort of sport now that is not so big and everyone is not talking about it, but with the potentials in it, you can tell that Lagos can be a pioneer for it in Africa and own the market, because we have the clout, we have the people, we have everything that we need, to get it done. I love it so much. Let's go on this quick break now. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. When we come back, Kende Idris will land on this A1 Sports and his reaction on what Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu talked about. Cecilia mentioned the interview with Ngozi Okobi. What's she been up to? We'll get to hear from her, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television, E1 Sports. Yes, that's what Lagos State government is giving attention to after a courtesy visit from officials and representatives of the sports. They want Lagos to be the host city for the events that is scheduled to kick off in September. Kende Idris, you listened to the governor of Lagos State. Did he say everything you wanted to hear? What would you like to add to everything he talked about?
Um, Before I go to what to add, there is something about life. You continue to build in your little space, making your space better, your niche. You continue to make it look as fine, as good as possible. Then the outside world will someday see a need to get attached to it. And that's the story of Lagos State. You see, when they started consciously, working on the waterways, building the stations and all of that, there was a time they gave free ride for you to just get exposed to the water world, how safe it is, how beautiful it is to go on that. It was exposure to tourism, knowing Lagos better. But look at today, E1, somewhere around the world we're discussing, and then somebody said, hey, Africa needs to be a part of this. And when they thought Africa, they said, Lagos, they've got this, they've got that, because somebody has been involved with all of these facilities, and now they are bringing it here. And that's where we should take our discussion from. Continue to make whatever it is that you have better. Look at beach soccer. So many times they bring competitions, Africa, the world, to our beaches here, just to, just for us to understand that it is because you make it very accessible. There are some infrastructure on ground, and that's what you should do every day. And he said, now we're taking our ferries out, change it to electric ferries. Austin said, make it clean, make it safe. And those are things we should start talking about. Yeah. Making people get friendly, normalize relating with our water, because it's there. It's not going anywhere in Lagos State. The waters will forever be there. And it should be a part of our life, every day as Lagos people, as Nigerians. And you start making money eventually. This will eventually bring money, huge money, I must say. This is the first edition, and then you get bigger editions and all of that. So maybe what I will add is consciously every day, not just Lagos State, but everybody around the world should continue to do around Nigeria should continue to do something in their states. Whether you have, whether it is road that you have, it is palm tree that you have, whatever it is that you have, continue to make it look as attractive as possible for anybody around the world to someday tap in and want to relate with it. So Lagos State, fantastic. Hopefully everything governor has said, which is beautiful, will eventually come to pass, and then the A1 Sports would, after the competition, say, wow, we want to come back to Lagos State.
Nice. Okay.
Fantastic. I think that's what we are all hoping for. They always want to come back after that experience. Of course, our teamy youth who are enthusiastic when it comes to water sport be able to participate in that electric boat racing world championship. All right, now let's not talk about Ngozi Okobi. Also already teased it. What she has a lot to say, but first of all, focusing on her potential return to the national team. She gave birth in September, as you mentioned, got signed 2 weeks after she got a deal. 2 weeks after giving birth, got a deal to join a club, and then she had to take her time. And February, she will be, starting. She will be playing football again. But she has a lot to say concerning her potential return to the team, and also the midfielders, what we need to do to actually have these players well encouraged, because they have the potential to actually, win big if they are encouraged. Let's take a listen to her.
Still have a thing for the national team, but I would say this: it's not my father's house or my birthright. If they truly wanted me, maybe they would have checked out to know if I was ready to play or not while I was pregnant. No one ever checked out, not even one person, which I felt disappointed. Even when I gave birth, I didn't expect people who wrote about me. None even came from the national team. I'm like, oh, probably they don't need me, that's why. Coming back or not coming back, I don't know. I can't say yes, I will be coming back, or I want to come back. It depends on who is the coach, because we don't have a standby coach, like a real coach. It's now like this one today, this one tomorrow, this one next tomorrow, and I don't know who is coming. Now Coach Justin is there, which I know is doing well. And then for the players they have in the team right now, I think all they need to do is just, I watched the World Cup, I saw everything. I think we have players who could do even better than me. even though I don't have opportunity to like speak with these girls one-on-one or try to talk to them, women, we feel like, okay, this one is out, we don't have anything to do with this one. But during my time when I came in, Pepesha spoke to me and said, hey, you can take my position, you can make this thing easy for the national team with what I see in you. I mean, she encouraged me and made it easy for me. Yeah, I am blessed with the talent, but at least a senior talking to me like that, I think that actually made me like, oh, I'm going for this and I will have to get this until I am done. We have younger players who would want to do the job. All they need is just probably encouragement. And most of the times, those girls can get the encouragement when they have those people around them. Because that was what was easier for me. I had the opportunity to play with Perpetua Wonkosha in 2015 here in Canada. That was when the encouragement started. I mean, these girls might want to have such with them. That would help. Like Deborah Abiodun, she's a very good player. I call her baby because she's a baby to me. But she wished she was going to play on the same pitch with me. We only had that opportunity once when we went to play against Korea. Japan, sorry.
Yes.
We had the opportunity once, and that was a friendly game. She wished to do more with me, with the likes of Halima too. Like, these are the things that will encourage these girls to be better than what they are right now. Because she's a future star that they have to look at very well. And also, Tony Payne is a very good player. All she needs is more encouragement and also somebody that would support her. And that's what I meant in my last interview that people quoted wrong. She needed someone to support her. And also we have Jennifer Echejile. She's a very good player. I think that's the girl that could replace me in the national team. The first day I saw her in, I don't know, I can't remember the first camp I met her. I'm like, this is the girl. I told my friend Halima, I said, I think if I'm leaving national team because of this girl, I am fulfilled because she's a good player.
Okay, I mean, you were listening to her, you were just shaking your head, Tony Payne and these stars, not having seniors to actually look forward to. You see, something is missing. We talk about leadership in the senior national team, and then we discover that some things are just missing. And she actually highlighted some of these factors. Another one is we not checking on our players. I don't know when they're going to stop that.
I don't know. If
It's
there is one player,
athletes, track and field athletes, everybody.
If there is one player I loved while she was okay, she's still a national team player, but while she was, gets called
very active
every now is Okobi. I love that demeanor, the courage. She's never on the wrong side of the news. She does her business, leaves. Although so many of those ladies are like that, but there is just something about Okobi. And from the first time I saw that she wasn't coming, like, what happened? There is no Alimatu. Okobi is not also there. What was happening? Until I saw that pattern went on, and I knew there was more to it. Now, why do we always have a lot of things, shrouded in secrecy in our national team? I can remember Opara Noze's story, Florence Omagbemi while she was coach. Thomas Deneby had to get to India before he started spilling the kind of things that are happening here. If there is a talent there, let the talent be invited, get into our national team. Let everybody just mind their business. Let everybody do what they need to do. Look at Alima Taide complained sometimes in 2023. She came to play for the Super Falcons, got injured, and was out for like 3 months. She was surprised she was still in her hospital bed when she got another call up. And she was like, nobody even knew I've been injured and not playing football for the last 3 months.
That's a regular occurrence.
That's something like what Okobi is explaining. Then Okobi talked about encouragement by senior players to junior players. See, one of the things you see in our national team, senior players just want to let junior players know I am a senior player here. Hey, you're there to also help the psyche of the younger ones. Let them know the big stage is just a facade. If you got the talent, be bold and go out there and do what you need to do. There is nothing more than that. But when you're there, you're on the high horse, they cannot get close to you, they cannot ask you basic questions, simple questions. Everybody will sidestep before walking. Let them know that sidestepping is part of the procedure. It's not a case of, you that you're sidestepping, you will never walk. You will walk someday. It will take a little longer for some people wholesome, is fast and all of that. Let them know there are different patterns to being successful, and these are the wholesomeness that we ask of. See, there is talent in our male team, in our female team. All we need to do is for everybody to be unified, one, from the administrators to the coaches to the players to the fans. We are all one, and we should come together for a common goal, achieving whatever it is we want to achieve at every point.
Yeah.
We just mentioned the under 19. Austin said something very marquee. What are we aiming for? Compete favorably, understand these guys, they are 19 years old, they are 18 years old, they are 17 years old. Okay, we're looking for them to groom, get better, or we are going there to achieve, winning the trophy and all of that. So we should all be together every time, not, some are there, some are here, and we are not together, please.
Austin,
Okobi, I love her. Hopefully she gets back to the national team, and congratulations to her.
Austin, Ngozi Okobi, returning back to the national team, and some other players that she feels are really doing the business well, but all they need is just that encouragement and much support for us to have a viable midfield in the Falcons.
Yeah, I agree, particularly if you've still got it in you, and I think she has it. She's very productive, good work rates, very purposeful on the ball. We actually missed her a lot, those times that she wasn't, in the team. And when she started talking, I was like, can you still make it? Can you come back and look at the team now? And something in me, as I was asking myself the question, I was answering that, yes, it's like we need her. She's just 31. I know with women's football, that's actually the age where they really catch fire, She's just been unveiled by Ottawa Rapid in Canada. So it means she's still, useful in the system. So let's see. Let's monitor her. Let's see, if she's still the same Okobi that we know. And if she's still ready to represent the motherland and she earns it, then why not? I'm looking forward to having her back and, see how we can get some stability in that Super Eagles, that Super Falcons midfield.
Yeah, that's really important. Let's leave that and quickly talk about Nigeria Women's Football League Premiership, the elite top flight, in the country. There's some teams who are having like an unbeaten run. We just matched day 4, but then there are some teams that are unbeaten. Nigeria Rattlers, for instance, you have Edo Queens, you also have a Rivers Angels and Remo Stars Ladies. So we're starting with match day 4. We're starting with Group A in match day 4 fixtures of Nigeria Women's Football League Premiership. Danas Ladies will be hosting the champions Edo Queens right here in Lagos. That game will be played at 2 p.m. Before FC Robo will also use that same pitch, Onikon Stadium. Kind of busy with football. You have Nasarawa Masons and Ekiti Queens will be in action. Abia Angels and Confluence Queens. Remo Stars Ladies hosting Heartland Queens, and that's from Group A. We move over to Group B. Yes, well, the South derby between Delta Queens and Rivers Angels. You have Blackson, right? The former coach of Delta Queens. He's now the coach of Rivers Angels. Will he be able to beat his former team? Fingers crossed in that one. Bayelsa Queens will be hosting Adamawa Queens. You also have the game between Ibom Angels and Benue Queens. Benue Queens yet to pick up a point, same with Ibom Angels. These teams, will see if any of them will pick up their first 3 points of the season. FC Robo Queens will be hosting Nigeria Rattles. Nigeria Rattles also, they are having a nice, smooth, a good run in the fresh season of the NWFL. There's some things you just look at Nigeria Rattles like, how come they haven't lost a game? But Bayelsa Queens, Rivers Angels, Edo Queens, we know these ones. Even Remo Stars Ladies, of course, starting so well. But the South derby, that Delta Queens and Rivers Angels in Asaba, I think that's where the action will be.
Yeah, 2 former champions.
Yeah.
Or, one regular champion and another once in a lifetime champion. So, fantastic game. Fantastic game. And they both also had a bad start to the season. Rivers Angels, what they did the last time to Robo Queens, I think they just made all of us remember that this is Rivers Angels. Hey, and no touching it. In the first game, in the first match they won, their game ended 2-1. Everybody like, maybe it's Rivers Angels, they'll struggle like they did last season. But second game, third game, they've put on the fire. For Delta Queens, they're at home. They want to, use that to the advantage to as high as they could use. But I think Rivers Angels have got something in there for them to take that. Then I'm also looking at Robo Queens versus Niger Rattles. That would be a very big game. Robo Queens are still,
Two private clubs.
they are still rowing, not making it to the Super Six last season, and they want to do everything possible to make that top 3 this time. So every game matters to them, whether it's home or away. So Niger Rattles, fantastic team. Robo Queens have a lot on their hand. I'm mentioning Robo Queens because they are our darling club in Lagos, although Danas have also joined them. For Danas, they are playing Edo Queens. Massive team, but Danas have also started the season on a high note. Hopefully they will continue on that stead. I also want to see Nasarawa versus Ekiti. Newly promoted, looking like they can rub shoulders with the big girls, but in the league format, the long run does matter. But continue to take it game by game, and I think that's what Ekiti will do against Nasarawa Amazons and Remo Stars ladies versus Atlant. I think that's another big game because of Remo Stars ladies. If Remo Stars continue to show us what they are showing us, then there is something that should be studied about how Remo Stars are handling their business. Very young ladies. You need to just see this girl. Very young. The only thing they've got for me, they are talented and they are fearless.
And of course, they are being managed well. We'll see what they can do against Heartland. Heartland are yet to win a game this season. Austin, which one gets your attention on this one? Wrap this up quickly before we go to EFL Cup.
Definitely is Delta Queens and Rivers Angels. That's a big game. That's a Super 6 final. That's a Federation Cup final. You talk about women's, football in Nigeria. So let's see what Rivers Angels can do with that fixture. They went away, I think, the last time out, and they got the result. This is a big test against Delta Queens, who were, I think, champions 2 seasons ago before Edo Queens took over. So that will be a good one for us to talk about. Tricky tie for Edo Queens against Danas ladies, because at this stage, the ground is still slippery, because teams are chasing the points. So anything can happen. Don't blink. I think Adamawa Queens is one team I talked about that I want to see what they can do this season. So I'll also be monitoring their game. And of course, Nasarawa Amazons, that's a big team in any way you can think about them with women's football in Nigeria. So let's see if they can pick up their campaign this season and get us talking about them till the Super 6, Cecilia.
That's what it is. So just watch out wherever city you are. Try as much as possible to go see a game. Most of the games will be played at 4 p.m. outside the one between Danas ladies and Edo Queens. That's the first game, 2 p.m. right there at the Nicol Stadium. Right, NPFL games over the weekend. Started on Saturday. Had game on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday across 3 days. Starting with, we'll look at the games on Sunday. Kano Pillars and Bayelsa United ended goalless. Nasarawa United and Niger Tornadoes in favor of the home team. Heartland beating Rivers United by 2-0. Abia Warriors and Aqua United, what is wrong with you? Plateau United and Shooting Stars. Shooting Stars went to Plateau to collect points there. I think that's one of the surprising results of the weekend. We're expecting goals because Plateau knows how to score goals, but that didn't happen. It ended 1-0. Let's take a look at other games. Look at Monday's games. Saturday game, just one game. It was Sunshine Stars and Remo Stars. Remo Stars, that's how they extended the lead at the top of the table after that victory against Sunshine Stars. You also have games that were played on Monday, especially with Ikorodu City losing, to, of course, there are some teams that you just can't help. But is it just can't help? But if you can have that, those games that were played on Monday, you have some key games. But then maybe we can just look at that Remo Stars, what really happened in that game. Remo Stars and Sunshine Stars, that game ended 2-1.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a nervy game for Remo Stars.
For the first 30 minutes, 32 minutes there, about Remo Stars were already 2 goals up, and it was looking like they were coasting. But there is something about football that is, I don't know, super interesting. You're leading 2-0 and you concede a goal, and it seems like your entire life has been shattered. Because one more goal, it becomes level, and everybody will remember that you're the team that was leading 2-0 and squandered it. And that was the story of Remo Stars. They knew they need to continue to consolidate at the top. Winning the league, especially this one that there is no Super 8, Super 6, is you continue to be as perfect as you can, home or away. And Remo Stars had faltered on that over the last 2-3 seasons, and that's what they are avoiding this time, especially Rangers is not pulling their weight. Enyimba is not pulling their weight. So they have only Rivers to contend with. So they
And
had to
Shooting
keep
Stars.
it and Shooting Stars. So exactly. So they had to just fight tooth and nail
Yeah.
to take it all the way
And
down
they
to
did that.
and
Yeah.
it's a big win. And then they had to wait till Saturday and watch
What's gonna happen
on Sunday and watch
Rivers and then lose.
And
then,
it was like, wow, what a breeder. So
and
it's
then,
the weekend we gain points and our rival is losing points.
And then quickly, Austin Rangers beating the Ikorodu United 2-0. Some of the games that were played on Monday. You have Lobby Stars. Enyimba winning away from home. I mean, the team this were literally happy. Against Lobby Stars was 1-0. Rangers and Ikorodu City 2-0. And Benin Insurance and Katsina 1-0 in favor of Benin Insurance. Kwara United and Economy Warriors Kwara winning 2-0. But that Rangers Ikorodu quickly, that game.
Well, that was a good one. It was huge relief for the Flying Antelopes. If they had not won that game, it would have been 3 consecutive defeats.
Yes.
So they couldn't afford that, to their campaign. So they had to step up the game, apply a lot of pressure on Ikorodu City, and that own goal, just did it for Rangers at the Cathedral. So that was a very important result for them, and with Rangers, you want to say that they've been a bit unfortunate at the Cathedral, particularly when Niger Tornadoes came there and then they went away, lost. So with this one, it was never say never, and the build up to this goal was so lovely, by the way. So as I said, good breather for them.
Right.
Another that should be happy with what they got over the weekend was Enyimba. They ended their winless run in Bauchi. That was a very important win for them. Over Lobby Stars, winning by a single goal. Ifeanyi Emekweme with a goal. And of course, Remo Stars coasting away with the league title already, because Cecilia, the moment I saw that game was going to be played in Ikene at Remo's ground, I said it's all over, but take nothing away from their performance. They played purposeful football. And if we can go back to that video, check that pass that Ika gave from the back to Ibrahim Abubakar. Top class all day.
Yeah, it was.
So Sky Blue Stars.
Yeah, just quickly, we'll just run through the EFL Cup. Austin, what are we expecting from Arsenal and Newcastle tomorrow night?
First thing first, Mikel Arteta is so mad at himself and Arsenal's transfer window and the fact that he didn't get anything out of it. I said, look, Mikel Arteta, it's all your fault. This is you 100%, because he knows that the team doesn't have a striker. Should have done something about it. He just folded his hands and thought he could do a Pep Guardiola when they did it without a striker to win the league title. If you check the 2-0 they lost in the EFL Cup to Newcastle in the first leg, a striker would have made a difference for Arsenal in that game, because they were getting all the chances, but they didn't have finishers. So Cecilia, I don't know. I want to leave you. What do you want to do with Mikel Arteta?
Do we have time to listen to him?
That's why I'm handing it over to you.
Austin is a Nigerian. He loves Aqua United and he's also an Arsenal lover. What a time for Austin.
Do you understand?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I know I know you were right about one thing, and it's Aqua United. And that's the thing I run away from conversations about Aqua United, because
I know.
There's a deliberate attempt to attack my blood pressure, and I won't let that.
Okay, let's just get confirmation of the semi-final, the fixtures for the EFL Cup semi-final, the return leg. Of course, Newcastle and Arsenal, they have the first leg ended 2-0 in favor of course Newcastle, and then this is the return leg that will be taking place. But let's quickly take a listen to Mikel Arteta talking ahead of the game.
They are a very difficult team to play against. They've been different games. We beat them at home last year in a good way. Obviously, this season has been different with 2 very different games as well, I think. So, yeah, another opportunity ahead of us, a big one that can take us to Wembley. So, really looking forward to it. Yes, because with other cups, domestic cup, we have an unbelievable record. So, yeah, historically, it's been difficult and tough. So, good opportunity again to make history. I don't know if that's the word, excited for sure. Willing, hungry, enthusiastic, because we are very close to play a final, and hopefully we can achieve it tomorrow.
We can achieve it tomorrow. Can they achieve it tomorrow? So I think we have to go if they can achieve it tomorrow. Yeah, fingers crossed.
It's going to be very difficult for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal, because Eddie Howe and this Newcastle team, they want to put an end to that trophy drought. They will come out, give everything that they have. It's advantage Newcastle already because they have a 2-0 lead from the first leg. That's the show in London. I'm Austin Okonapan. In everything you do, remember, let's keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Okay, it was nice doing this with you again.
It's always nice being here on Tuesday.
You want to stick out your neck for... They beat City, forward, so that can happen.
Probably they could.
They go to come.
Newcastle double advantage. You're leading 2-0 and then you're playing at home the second leg. Double advantage.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Bogwe. Have a good night, right?